Morning. Just about ready to start. Here we go. Well, we don't have a definitive reason yet why Joe Biden has decided to drop out as the Democratic presidential nominee. Could be dementia, could be senility, could be something more serious than that. The only thing we know is that he certainly has been since June the 27th afflicted with a serious case of butt-kickitis from Donald Trump's debate against him. And it became clear that Joe Biden could not win the presidency again. He could not hide in his basement. He could not, even though he tried with George Stephanopoulos and Lester Holt and on Black Entertainment Television and other avenues, tried to rehabilitate himself. He could not, and the Democratic Party turned against him. For his effort leaving the ticket, he gets a set of Barack Obama steak knives plunged into his back with the fingerprints of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and others on it. So that is where we are. And Kamala Harris, though it took Joe Biden 27 minutes to decide, I guess I better endorse my vice president, she looms right now as the heir apparent, not H-E-I-R apparent, E-R-R apparent, because she is horrific as a person, as a candidate. I can play ample sound bites going all the way back to her third day as Attorney General of the state of California, demonstrating how horrific she is as a person. I don't need to play, but I will play words out of her own mouth indicting herself as a bubblehead, as a complete nutcase, and as more left than Joe Biden, as left as the most leftist members of the Democratic caucus. But we still have not heard from our president other than a fairly lengthy post on X, which I find deliciously ironic in that the Democrats hate Elon Musk. And the reason why they hate Elon Musk is because Elon Musk, you'd think they'd love him, right? He's a big electric car guy. No, they hate Elon Musk because Elon Musk loves freedom of speech and spent his own money to preserve freedom of speech on a powerful social media platform, such a powerful social media platform, first Twitter, now X, that Joe Biden didn't do a press conference yesterday, didn't do a press release yesterday, didn't do a breaking news live thing from the White House. He released his statement on X, which of course means that Joe Biden had no immediate role in it because Joe Biden doesn't operate his own Twitter account. That's something that his interns do. And if you're going to release a statement saying that you're withdrawing from the race as president when you have received almost every single vote of Democratic delegates in the primary process, I would think there would be one thing you would want to accomplish in that statement. And that would be to explain why you're dropping out. Joe Biden's statement backslapped himself for his great accomplishments, his historic accomplishments as president. And you're going to continue to hear the word hero tied to Joe Biden, which, is kind of explanatory of why they deem him to be such a great president. If you deem someone who drops out of the presidency a hero, then what you are saying is that when you are absolutely certain you've been knocked down by Donald Trump in a debate to the extent that you can't possibly get up, you're going to give up. If that's deemed heroic, if prattling on and on and on and on for the past few years about the necessity to run and protect democracy, and then you delegitimize the votes of virtually every member of your party through the primary process, if that's heroic, then now I can understand how getting 13 American soldiers killed at the Abbey Gate at Hamid Karzai Airport amid a feckless withdrawal from Afghanistan, if those first two things, ignoring the voters in the Democratic Party and giving up when it looks like you're going to get your butt kicked in the election, are heroic, then I can understand why the Democrats would say that getting 13 servicemen killed and having Afghans falling off the engines of planes as we're trying to fly out of Afghanistan is an extraordinary success. So I understand the Afghan withdrawal better today. I just don't understand how Joe Biden can withdraw from the race and not tell us why. Here is a portion of his statement. He says, America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. Okay, then why are you quitting? Why are you quitting? If you've never been better positioned to lead than you are today, I've never heard anybody say that and say, but I'm getting out. I'm handing the baton off to Kamala. He continued, I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. Both lies, so you know it's straight from Biden. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. I guess that's why there are wars everywhere. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. While it has been my intention to seek re-election, okay, here we're getting to the good part. I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down. Why? Why? Can I ask a question? I know I was a trained journalist back when journalism was actually journalism and not activism. Who, what, when, where, why? Those are the questions you try to get answered when you're a journalism student. Who? Joe Biden. What? Dropping out. When? Yesterday. Where? Presumably from the White House, although we haven't seen him. I know he's Delaware. I'm sorry. Forgot. Weekend. He's on vacation. We got the who, we got the what, we got the when, we got the where. We don't have the why. And there's no why in here. And Joe Biden has not appeared on camera since last Wednesday. He took a week off to prepare for the debate, got his butt kicked, 7 days without being president, 7 days napping and preparing for whatever that was on stage in Atlanta, other than an utter failure and an utter exposure of his incompetence to lead. Has anything gone on in the world since Joe Biden got COVID? I remember. The Houthis killed an Israeli with a drone strike in Tel Aviv. That was last Thursday. Saturday, the Israelis retaliated and killed 6 in Yemen. Russia, Ukraine, that war is raging. The Middle East is heating up by the day. Gaza and Israel can't settle it. Now we got Hezbollah in the north and Israel, that's about to blow up. And Joe Biden withdraws and doesn't say a word. Incompetence abounds in his administration because we haven't heard from Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, also known as the black guy. We haven't heard from National Security Director Jake Sullivan, who you remember in advance of the Hamas attacks on Israel said that the Middle East has never been more peaceful. Never. Antony Blinken, who when he goes to Ukraine plays guitar in a rock band, gets nothing done. It's not just the international fecklessness. We got an energy secretary who laughs when you ask her about what are you going to do to lower gas prices. We've got an epic border disaster, which you didn't think Alejandro Mayorkas could be more exposed. Now, another agency that he runs, the Secret Service, their director, Kimberly Cheadle, is in front of Congress, not answering questions, just filibustering about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. You've got Xavier Becerra, who believes it's kind to cut the genitals off kids. And oh yeah, you got Kamala Harris. That's the administration Joe Biden has put together. That's the administration, the people they now want you to vote for again because they've demonstrated to you such openness and transparency. Remember the Biden promise? Oh, we're going to be the most transparent administration ever. How transparent were they? Oh, they were so transparent, they told us that he gets more done in an hour than the rest of us do all day. The staff can't keep up with him. And that anything you show, unedited video of him looking like a buffoon in Europe or stumbling up the stairs, even the short stairs of Air Force One, are cheap fakes. I have no doubt they're going to rehabilitate Kamala Harris's image. She may not be their nominee because there's just so much opposition research out there on her from her own mouth, from her own political resume, that by the time they get to the convention in around 30 days, sure, she'll get an immediate bump in the polls, but that's going to decline as America gets to know her even better.
Intervals of clouds and sun for the afternoon. Shower and thunderstorm, high 83. A thunderstorm in spots this evening. Otherwise, clouds and humid tonight, low 66. Partly sunny, humid tomorrow. Thunderstorm and a high 85. And then partly sunny, humid Wednesday. A thunderstorm, high 87. Clouds and humid, a thunderstorm in the area again on Thursday, high 81. Sunny, less humid. Nice day on Friday. High Friday at 85. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here. Did you know that 80% of adults take supplements to feel our best, right? Well, one thing your dog can't do without you is improve their diet or health to feel their best. That is why I believe Rough Greens could dramatically help your best friend by adding what is missing to their diet like you do. Rough Greens is helping thousands and thousands of dogs feel better and live longer, including my dog, Mr. Briggs, who loves it. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, who created Rough Greens, is also an airborne ranger and Green Beret, an amazing background. He loves dogs and is on a mission to help as many as he can. Dog food is dead, and Rough Greens supplements your dog's food with existing vitamins and minerals, omega oils, digestive enzymes, probiotics, and antioxidants. Dr. Black is offering you a free Jumpstart trial bag. To fetch your free Jumpstart trial bag, just cover shipping. Don't change your dog's food. Just go to roughgreens.com/Kirk, ruffgreens.com/Kirk.
You want your child to become all that he or she can be, but you are dissatisfied with the current public education system. At Heart of Ohio Classical Academy Dublin campus, your child will receive a top-quality classical education based on the curriculum of the Hillsdale College's K-12 program, and it's tuition-free for everyone. For more information on how to enroll your child or to register for a parent info event, visit dublinclassical.com today. That's dublinclassical.com. Heart of Ohio, tuition-free, where students learn how to think. dublinclassical.com.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. And maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true people are way more satisfied after making the switch too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, really, you could save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. See what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
We can tell you about the incredible success we bring to local businesses, but it's better when it comes directly from our satisfied clients. Here's just one example.
After searching for a new vendor to handle my search marketing campaign, I contacted Salem Surround after seeing the great work they did for another restoration company in the different market. Their team of experts recommended a mix of multiple tactics designed to get my business the most quality leads at the lowest cost, making my marketing budget stretch further. In our first year partnering with Salem Surround, we recorded our best year to date, and I've told many people how blessed I was to find them. The representative answered the phone every time I called and quickly addressed any questions or concerns I had.
Let Salem Surround give you an absolutely free audit of your current marketing and show you what your competition is doing. Then, we come up with a personalized plan that's perfect for your needs. Google Salem Surround Columbus and let our marketing experts help you achieve real success. Remember to Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
So it's a Monday. That means this afternoon I will be at the carpet store just down from Costco. Hopefully you come and see me, but if you can't get there, it's a rainy day. I understand that. You can always go to brucehooley.com and click on the flooring tab in the upper right-hand corner of the page, and that'll get you all hooked up. And, you say, well, I'm thinking about it, but I'm just not quite ready yet. I had a wonderful conversation this morning with a friend whose home I measured more than a year ago. Look, I'm not in any big hurry. I want to do it on your schedule. Maybe you have painting to do. Maybe you have some other remodeling to do. But hey, let's get that space measured. It's probably not getting any bigger. And let's get you exposed to what you can do for your home at the cost that it will cost you. And you'll find out that you're really going to save over big box stores. Lots of reasons for that. I'd love to explain them to you. So stop by or reach out to me. Go to brucehooley.com, click on flooring in the upper right-hand corner of the page, and we will get you all set up. LVP, luxury vinyl plank for your kitchen, for your bathrooms, for your rec room, for your whole entire house, or carpet as well. We've got it all, and I'd love to help you save on it. brucehooley.com, flooring tab, upper right-hand corner of the page. So as much as the Democrats are energized by Kamala Harris' apparent ascendancy to the top of the ticket, keep in mind, this is not over. If they move Joe Biden out when he's the sitting president and when he has almost all the delegates from the convention and when he clearly didn't want to leave, she will be no match for the Democratic Party machine if and when, and I actually think it's more when than if, they decide to move her out. Here's what's going to happen. She's going to get a momentary bump out of this. Everybody's going to rave about her, how historic she is because she's black and she's Asian and she was this and that and on and on and on and on and on. And oh, the polls will look so promising. Look, she's ahead of Trump here. And she'll name a running mate, most likely. I don't know if that'll happen until the convention or if she'll do it now so she can maybe take the focus off her radical record. And who she names as running mate will matter. I mean, it honestly will. It could matter. Let's say she names Mark Kelly from Arizona, the astronaut, the husband of Gabby Giffords. Well, Mark Kelly presumably would help her carry Arizona. And that has been, most people think, firmly in the Trump camp. That's 11 electoral votes that the Democrats would have a better chance of getting. I'm not saying they would win it, but I'm saying they'd have a better chance of getting those 11 electoral votes with Mark Kelly on the ticket than they would if it were Biden and Harris on the ticket. What if she names Roy Cooper in North Carolina? You'd say, I never heard of Roy Cooper. No, you never have, but the people in North Carolina have, and he's won 6 straight statewide elections in North Carolina. Maybe he throws the 16 North Carolina electoral votes to Kamala Harris. GOP won North Carolina by 1% of the vote in 2020. What if she names Raphael Warnock of Georgia? And that's the guy I'd keep my eyes on. You hear Andy Beshear, Kentucky. Andy Beshear, Kentucky? Andy Beshear is not handing Kentucky to Kamala Harris. He's not. Andy Beshear has confounded logic, and he has won, I think, 3 straight statewide elections in Kentucky. But Andy Beshear is not turning Kentucky red, not in the presidential election. But he's groveling for the job. I heard a quote from him, and he's reading it off the teleprompter because, of course, nobody can extemporaneously muster up anything from inside their own brains that would sound authentic or great about Kamala Harris. Kentucky has only 8 electoral votes, by the way. You're going to get 0 out of Andy Beshear. 0. But Raphael Warnock, I say, is the name to keep your eye on because who are the Democrats hurting with? Black voters. They're hurting with black voters. Warnock's been elected senator from Georgia. Warnock, I think, would be a problem for Trump and Vance to carry Georgia. 16 electoral votes. Then all of a sudden, you don't have to just win Pennsylvania, Michigan, or Wisconsin. Now you got to win maybe 2 of those if you want to win the election. Now the electoral map could change a little bit depending upon if it is Harris or Trump. But think how Democrats think, right? You got to think how Democrats think. You can't think how you think. You got Raphael Warnock, he's an idiot. He's a pro-abortion pastor. Yeah, I know you think he's an idiot, and you're right. But this would be their way of saying, oh, see, we really care about God. We don't care about what God says. We just care about God because we can leverage him for our political purposes. Look, we're hiring the guy who preaches at the church where Martin Luther King used to preach. And if you say anything bad about an all-black ticket, Kamala Harris and Raphael Warnock, well, you know what that makes you. Right? I mean, that's how they think. And that's exactly how they would portray it. Your policies are radical. You're a racist. No, I didn't say anything about your race. I said your policies are radical. You're a racist. You're a white nationalist. You know that's how they would play it. So Warnock, you also have to look at this like, I hear Josh Shapiro. I hear the name Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania. Okay, maybe. I don't know the pressure that a party can exert on a candidate. Maybe they make Josh Shapiro take it. Problem, Josh Shapiro is not just Jewish, but a practicing Jew. A lot of people who are Jewish, they're not practicing Jews. Josh Shapiro is practicing Jew. Josh Shapiro, out front support for Israel. Hand me the popcorn for the Democratic convention outside the United Center. If Josh Shapiro is on the ticket and he's pro-Israel. Oh, I can't wait for that. I don't think Josh Shapiro wants it because Josh Shapiro has a political future. I hear Gavin Newsom. What are they going to do with the fact that Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom are both from California? And I don't think the Democrats think they can do without California's 54 electoral votes, which, if both Newsom and Harris are from California, you cannot get the electoral votes from a state if both candidates are from that state. That was the problem with Marco Rubio being on the Trump ticket. So no on Gavin Newsom, no on Josh Shapiro. And there are multiple reasons why. With Shapiro, it's the fact that he's Jewish and he's pro-Israel. With Newsom, it's the fact that he's from California and he's super radical and done a crappy job. And so, you know, Gretchen Whitmer, Michigan, she's already said she's not going to run for president. Let me just tell you right now. Democrats might do it because then they could use the misogynistic card. Oh, you don't like too strong women. No, I don't like too radical candidates. I don't care if they're women. First of all, congratulations on admitting that there are women. Hallelujah. You've seen the light on sex, not gender. Let me say this as practically as I can. America is not going to vote for the Wicked Witch of the West and the Wicked Witch of the Midwest on one ticket. They're just not. Okay? America is not ready. Not for an all estrogen ticket. America is not ready for two whiny witches on the ticket. And that is Gretchen Whitmer and Kamala Harris. But again, don't overstate the importance of the running mate. I heard Pete Buttigieg's name mentioned. Oh, yeah, that'll go well. Mayor of South Bend, Indiana. Epic disaster as transportation secretary. Don't overestimate just the multiple issues, myriad issues with Kamala Harris. You know, Kamala, she loves the Venn diagrams, right? Oh, I love Venn diagrams. I don't have a Kamala Harris impression, thankfully. Kamala Harris, the problem with her is the Venn diagram. The intersection of insufferability, inauthenticity, and incompetence. Or those three circles, the insufferable circle, the incompetent circle, and the insincere circle. When those qualities, those three circles intersect, right in the center is the visage of Kamala Harris. That's the problem with her. She's inauthentic, she is insufferable, and most importantly, she's incompetent.
With SRN News, I'm Jeremy House in Washington. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle is testifying before a congressional committee today as calls mount for her to resign over security failures at a rally where a 20-year-old gunman attempted to assassinate former President Donald Trump. Voters nationwide reacted with relief to news that President Biden would drop his re-election bid. Mr. Biden announced his decision to withdraw from the race for the Democratic nomination yesterday and endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris as his successor. U.S. auto safety regulators are investigating complaints some Ram pickups and Jeep Wagoner SUVs can lose power, shift into park, and apply the emergency brake. On Wall Street, the Dow's ahead 28.5 points. The NASDAQ is up 134. More details at srnews.com.
Government debt is now exploding by an unprecedented $1 trillion every 90 days. Think of that. It's a clear sign that our nation's finances are spinning out of control, and it's putting the savings of every one of you at risk. Hello, I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst and best-selling author and an evangelical leader. I'm deeply concerned about the impact this runaway debt is going to have on Christians like you who have worked hard to build your own nest egg for your family. To protect your financial future in these uncertain times, you need to diversify with something tangible and proven, like physical gold. That's why I recommend a gold IRA. To learn more, text FAITH to the number 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will rush you a free info kit on how to move your IRA or 401k to physical precious metals, tax and penalty free. So don't wait. Just text the word FAITH to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold Group is the only company I trust. There's no obligation. So text FAITH to 989898, and I pray this information helps you achieve prosperity.
We are strong, and we'll get through this together. But these are stressful times. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, and know that you are not alone. Visit wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Join me, Dennis Prager, on an unforgettable Bible cruise to the Caribbean, November 29th to December 8th. 2024. Imagine 9 days of basking in the sun, surrounded by the stunning beauty of a tropical paradise. Amid profound conversations, I'll share about the Bible and my insights into current events in a way that I believe you will really enjoy. Secure your spot on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure by calling 855-565-5519 or booking online at PragerBibleCruise.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6745. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6745. That's 800-575-6745. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, tune in, or iHeart.
I don't know about you, but when I find a great bargain, I like to tell my friends about it. I mentioned when I was on vacation, I found an outlet store, golf shirts, $5, crazy. And the same reason is behind my motivation to tell you about patriotswitch.com products. Now, you do not have to be a member of patriotswitch.com to buy their products. Products that are made from plants, products that are good for you, for your family, cut down on plastic waste, and most importantly, from my perspective, is take a big bite out of woke capitalism. Stop buying your mouthwash, toothpaste, cleaning products, vitamins, many other things, 450 of them, at Target, at Walmart, at Kroger, at these huge conglomerates that donate their profits to causes you don't support. But you can buy the products right from the store. The manufacturer is the store. But wouldn't you rather buy them at a 35 to 50% discount? That's why you become a member. And memberships this month are $1 for the year. So leave your information, patriotswitch.com/Bruce, patriotswitch.com/Bruce, and I will get you hooked up. And you'll be buying and saving and loving it like I do. patriotswitch.com/Bruce. It is a fact I would be willing to argue with anyone that the Democrats are evil. Their policies are evil. They're also ineffective. But I would not argue that Democrats are not crafty. And they are not stupid. It is worth noting that while lots of Democrats are coalescing around Kamala Harris because she's better than Joe Biden as a candidate, they think, the people at the top of the food chain, Barack Obama, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, have not endorsed Kamala Harris. That tells you something, doesn't it? It tells you that they realize that we went all in on Joe Biden too soon. And now we have to dig out of that. And so let's just keep our powder dry a little bit and see how Kamala Harris's candidate plays with the American electorate 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, entering the convention. Now, never forget, Kamala Harris is going to have to answer the same question that, Richard Nixon had to answer with Watergate. What was the question Nixon had to answer? What did you know and when did you know it? What did you know and when did you know it? Regarding Kamala Harris, what did she know about Joe Biden's cognitive state? And when did she know it? She had lunch with him every week. She talked about, oh, we have lunch every week. Oh, he's so smart. He's so with it. What, he just crashed at the end after the debate? No, after the debate she talked about what a great job Joe Biden did. And he just had a bad night. In fact, he didn't even have a bad night. He just had a slow start. Now, when I say she's going to have to answer that question, is she? Joe Scarborough going to ask her that question? She's going to go on friendly media. Maybe the question will never be asked. CBS News, in the wake of Biden's resignation, is that what I guess we'll call it that, a resignation from the top of the ticket. Interesting report on CBS News yesterday about an interview they had with Frank Biden. Here is the first part of that report. See if what jumped out at me jumps out at you.
CBS News had a brief conversation with Frank Biden, one of President Biden's two younger brothers. And here's what he told us. He said, I'm incredibly proud of my brother. Selfishly, I will have him back to enjoy whatever time we have left.
Frank must have got cut out on the whole Chinese energy deal to say that. I will enjoy him for whatever time we have left. Do people say that at retirement parties? It's been great working for this company for 54 years. Joe Biden could say that about government. And my wife is looking forward to spending whatever time we have left. No, we're looking forward to celebrating our golden years. I can't wait to enjoy retirement. But the brother, Frank Biden, said he's looking forward to enjoying whatever time we have left, which, of course, introduces another interesting question, besides what's wrong with Joe Biden and why would you say that, is if you're not mentally cognitive enough to run for president, how are you mentally cognitive enough to be president? And if you say, well, no, he just wants to concentrate, focus all his mental capacity on being president, he's mentally cognitive enough. Okay, then why is he not running for re-election? Because he got all the votes. He made back when you should have made the decision to get out, like Lyndon Johnson did in March of 1968, a full 7 months before the election, back when primaries could still be waged and you could have had more time to adjust and have a fair vetting of candidates rather than, oh, I see. Let's force Biden out, then we can anoint whoever we want, then we can go right around the voters, which is a strange tack for the party that is so staunchly defending democracy to take, is it not? Now here's part 2 of the CBS report talking to Frank Biden, Joe Biden's little brother.
We asked him whether he feels that his brother's overall health and vitality played a major role in this decision. And he says, in my humble opinion, absolutely. So a member of the president's family now confirming that the president's health was indeed a major factor in this decision and calling his brother a hero for making the decision to pass the torch to Kamala Harris.
Yes, one more time. I'm trying to spare you all the characterizations of Joe Biden as a hero. There is nothing heroic about quitting. That is what he's done. He's quit. He's quit because he got his tail kicked so far up his chest that it's coming out his mouth, okay? That's why he's getting out. He's getting out because he fears losing, because everyone around him tells him he is going to lose. And he is going to not only lose himself, but he's going to make every other candidate lose. There is nothing heroic about botching a debate so bad that the authorities in charge of your party come to you and tell you you have to get out or you're going to do historic damage to the party. That's not heroic, okay? Now, after that interview with Frank Biden that CBS said it's definitely medically related, and B, I'm just going to enjoy whatever time I have left with him. That was a field reporter for CBS. Margaret Brennan, leftist, back in the studio, had an interesting reaction.
Well, that is notable because to date, the family, the White House, the establishment has rejected the premise that there was anything that was challenging the president's mental acuity or his health, and that all these accusations were baseless, that it was just age and a few, difficult nights like he had on the debate stage. So that is a change in message.
Age and a few difficult nights. Is that a reason to get out as president? What kind of hero says, I'm getting older and I've had a few difficult nights, didn't sleep well, whatever. I think I'll just quit. Not heroic. Not heroic. And here's something else you should know when you say, well, that's curious. Joe Biden didn't sign the statement that was released on Twitter. That was an electronic signature. Joe Biden didn't come out and make the announcement himself. There's not even a picture taken of Joe Biden. Here I am signing the paper. I'm getting out, but don't worry. Kamala's in charge. Yes, I know it took me 27 minutes after my first statement to say that Kamala has my support because she really doesn't, but I knew how bad it looked that I didn't give it to her. But isn't it interesting that the White House says essentially Frank Biden is a kook? They even said Frank Biden is an alcoholic, and you shouldn't pay any attention to what Frank Biden says. Do you think Joe Biden blessed the White House disparaging his brother like his brother has been disparaged for saying those two things about Joe Biden? Have you paid any attention to Joe Biden? Nobody. The Joe Biden who said nobody F's with a Biden? The Biden who brags about his family all the time, even though his family is like the most dysfunctional family since King David in the Bible? Joe Biden says his son Hunter, a derelict, drug addict, sex addict, treasonous traitor to the United States of America, is the smartest man he knows. How would Joe Biden allow the White House to disparage Frank Biden if he knew they were doing it? He wouldn't. He wouldn't. This proves he is not in charge. Now he's supposed to speak, I guess, to us tonight to explain why he's dropping out. That's a interesting needle for him to thread. We were supposed to get comments from Kamala Harris this morning at 11:30. I would think she'd want to do that because right now Kimberly Cheadle, the Secret Service director, is in front of the House Oversight Committee on Capitol Hill. It's not going well for her. So, yet again, I say, enjoy the popcorn. Enjoy this spectacle of Democrats continuing to retch all over themselves. Spot the lies, shine a little bit of a light. You don't even have to shine a laser on it. Shine a little bit of a light on it. Hold them accountable for their double standard. But the one thing you cannot do is become complacent and overconfident, because this election is not over. It is not over. They will stop at nothing to keep Trump out of the White House.
Intervals of clouds and sun for the afternoon. Shower and thunderstorm, high 83. A thunderstorm in spots this evening. Otherwise, clouds and humid tonight, low 66. Partly sunny, humid tomorrow. Thunderstorm and high 85. And then partly sunny, humid Wednesday. A thunderstorm, high 87. Clouds and humid, a thunderstorm in the area again on Thursday, high 81. Sunny, less humid, nice day on Friday. High Friday at 85. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Government debt is now exploding by an unprecedented $1 trillion every 90 days. Think of that. It's a clear sign that our nation's finances are spinning out of control, and it's putting the savings of every one of you at risk. Hello, I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst and best-selling author and an evangelical leader. I'm deeply concerned about the impact this runaway debt is going to have on Christians like you who have worked hard to build your own nest egg for your family. To protect your financial future in these uncertain times, you need to diversify with something tangible and proven, like physical gold. That's why I recommend a gold IRA. To learn more, text FAITH to the number 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will rush you a free info kit on how to move your IRA or 401k to physical precious metals, tax and penalty free. So don't wait. Just text the word FAITH to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold Group is the only company I trust. There's no obligation. So text FAITH to 989898, and I pray this information helps you achieve prosperity and peace of mind.
Are you ready to take the next step in your education? Look no further. Ohio Christian University offers entirely online associate, bachelor, and master's degrees in a wide range of fields, from business to psychology, human services, and data science. With flexible online classes starting August 13th, you can take one course at a time or double up to fast-track your degree from the comfort of your home. Don't wait any longer to invest in your future. Take the first step today. Call 844-726-7937 to learn more, or visit ohiochristianuniversity.edu/apply.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer. I'm a barber.
A waitress. A mom. We're all part of your community. Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good, others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty, something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not. It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities. The Mid-Ohio Food Collective provides nutritious, healthy food to more than 500,000 of our hungry neighbors in central and eastern Ohio. They stock pantries and markets with fresh produce and non-perishable food. The food goes to soup kitchens and emergency shelters. They feed preschool children and students on summer break. They supply food to seniors without transportation. It's enough food for 193,000 meals every single day. Food is health. Fresh food can lead to thriving lives. You can help through the Mid-Ohio Food Collective. Visit MOFC.org and learn how you, your family, your church, and your workplace can make a difference. That's MOFC.org for the Mid-Ohio Food Collective. Let's make sure our neighbors get the meals they deserve. Support the Mid-Ohio Food Collective. That's MOFC.org.
Riverbend Ranch steaks are fantastic. I had some of their ground beef over the weekend, and honestly, I kind of hoarded it. I ate a couple of burgers, and then I put a couple more in the back of the refrigerator where hopefully no one would find them. And yes, I have them with me today. Trust me, you'll get a little territorial about your Riverbend Ranch beef because it is so phenomenal. No hormones, no antibiotics, and you don't have to order it every month. You can order it every other month if that's more convenient for you. You can customize your bundle. Would you like a roast? Would you like New York strip? Would you like filet mignon? Would you like steak strips? Make your own Philly cheesesteak sandwiches at home, however you like it. I hope you like it USDA Choice and Prime, because those are the only two ratings of beef Riverbend Ranch sells. This is not a conglomeration of a bunch of ranches. This is one ranch. That's why I tell you it is better than Moink or Good Ranchers or anything else, because they pull from lots of ranches, and I'm sure those ranches are great, but they're not Riverbend Ranch. So check it out, riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce Hooley, riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce Hooley. Among the radical things that Kamala Harris has said during her career in politics is that she would get rid of the filibuster in the Senate if she could, in order to pass the Green New Deal. If you don't believe me, here she was when she was running for president, in that brief snippet of time before America found out she was so unlikable that she had to leave the race before the first primary was contested. Here she is making that contention in the run-up to the 2020 election when she was a candidate in the Democratic primaries.
So again, back to the United States Congress, here's my point. If they fail to act as President of the United States, I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal.
Prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. In other words, we will force it down your throat if you don't want it. Now, I'm sure that Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle wishes that Kamala Harris had become the Democratic nominee for president in 2020 and been elected president in 2020 and ended the filibuster, because that is what Kimberly Cheadle is doing today on Capitol Hill. And it's shocking to see Democrats and Republicans actually united on something in House oversight. Now, I know it's risky to say that because I've had the sound off here for the past 50 minutes, and AOC is questioning Kimberly Cheadle now, and she may be pounding the table going, how did that guy miss? I don't know. I overstate the Congresswoman from New York, perhaps. But, you know, Jamie Raskin went right after James Comer, and they were putting Cheadle on the defensive. They want to know, how is this security fail in Butler, Pennsylvania a week ago Saturday possible? How did a shooter get on the roof? Are you serious when you talk about the slope of the roof being why you couldn't put a sniper up there? Were you understaffed? All these questions, Kimberly Cheadle not answering them. Here is a portion of her testimony to our congressman, well, at least if you're living in West Central Ohio, Jim Jordan of Urbana.
Chair, now recognize Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Mr. Jordan from Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director, were you guessing or lying? The day after President Trump is shot, Secret Service spokesman Anthony Guglielmi said, quote, the assertion that a member of the former president's security team requested additional security resources that the U.S. Secret Service or the Department of Homeland Security rebuffed is absolutely false. The next day, Secretary Mayorkas said that is an unequivocally false assertion. We had not received any request for additional security measures that were rebuffed. But 5 days later, the Washington Post said this: top officials repeatedly rejected requests from Donald Trump's security detail for more personnel. The next day, the New York Times said this: Mr. Guglielmi acknowledged that the Secret Service had turned down some requests for additional federal security assets for Mr. Trump's detail. So which is it? Because both statements can't be true. Were you guessing or lying when you said you didn't turn down requests from President Trump's detail?
Neither, sir, and I appreciate the question.
Well, what were you doing? Because those statements don't jive.
So what I can tell you is that for the event in Butler, there were no requests that were denied. As far as requests...
Well, maybe they got tired of asking. Maybe you turned them down so darn much, they said, not worth asking. How many times did you turn them down ahead of that?
I think that it is important to distinguish between what some people may view as a denial of an asset or a request.
Well, is Mr. Guglielmi your spokesperson? He said he acknowledged the Secret Service had turned down some requests. I'm asking how many?
A denial of a request does not equal a vulnerability. Ways that threats and risks can be mitigated with a number of different assets, whether that be through personnel, whether that be through technology or other resources.
Well, tell the committee which it was.
She's not going to answer that question. She hid behind this nuanced, non-denial denial. Jordan's like, hey, your spokesperson said categorically untrue that the Trump campaign asked for more Secret Service protection. And then the New York Times, the Washington Post, and others, and Alejandro Mayorkas' lie on this has been exposed to, say that, oh no, they did ask and you turned them down. And her response to that is, no one asked for additional security for the event in Butler, Pennsylvania. When you ask for additional security, you're not just asking because, hey, we're going to Butler, Pennsylvania, and it looks like a vulnerable location, looks like the president could get shot there. You ask for additional security because there is a multiplicity of threats, not just in Butler, Pennsylvania, but at every rally Trump holds and every campaign appearance that he makes and everywhere he goes. So you want more security there, more competent security there. And she full well knows that. They're not saying, hey, this is the Trump campaign. We've got an event coming up, and we wonder if we could have like 30 more agents. But, you know, then after that event, they're good to go. You just cut it back to 10. That's not how it works. When Donald Trump ascends to the top of the Republican ticket, or when Donald Trump just continues being Donald Trump, and the media and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris continue to label him a fascist and a dictator and a threat to democracy and the end of American elections, you amp up and radicalize nutcases like this 20-year-old kid from Pennsylvania who tried to shoot him. I love the whole, like, gee, you know, we haven't been able to figure out what his motive is. I have a clue. He wanted to kill Donald Trump. Is that not enough? What do you know, he really opposed Donald Trump's border policy. He didn't like the language that he uses when he talks about illegal aliens. No, I think it was the fact that he's a big supporter of Ukraine, and he thinks Donald Trump is going to undercut Ukraine. No, I think he really wanted Tim Scott on the ticket, and J.D. Vance just put him over the top when he named J.D. Vance. Ridiculous. The motive is he wanted him dead. I don't care if it was a policy-related motive. I don't care if it was a personal fame-related motive. I don't care if the kid was wigged out and just unable to distinguish reality from fantasy. The fact of the matter doesn't matter, because he got up on the roof within range of a shot that many people have testified a private in the Army is trained to accomplish within their first month and a half in the service. And he got off 7 or 8 shots before you neutralize him. He killed a citizen of Pennsylvania. He nearly killed 2 more. He showed how vulnerable our political candidates are, whose only job you have is to keep them safe. And you're going to say, well, you know, they didn't request additional security for Butler, Pennsylvania. That's your answer? It's a non-answer. And she knows it's a non-answer. And every time she is hit with a tough question, she's like, well, now's not the time. Now's not the time. When is the time? The time will never be, because the one thing you know in the Biden administration is that no one is ever held accountable for failure. No one. Not the generals in Afghanistan, not Alejandro Mayorkas on the border, not Granholm on energy, not Jake Sullivan, Hamas, Israel, or Ukraine, Russia. No one's ever held accountable.
With Premier Tax CPAs. And the true value of using a CPA is getting guidance throughout the year, not just at tax time. During the year, we can actively advise you on your financial and tax planning and other major business decisions, just like an outside CFO.
All right. Appreciate you guys joining today for hour number 1. We stream hour number 1 only because the station has its own Facebook page, and they would like for hour number 2 to be exclusive to that. You can watch it at 9890answer.com. We're talking about whether or not we can do both hours on Twitter live. We'll see. But for this point, you know, if you want to see it, you'll have to go to brucehooley.com or 9890answer.com. Really appreciate you watching, and hope you guys have a great day.